The battle between Ayanokoji and Koenji is one of the most heated debates in the classroom of the elite fanbase. Some people even believe that Koenji is the one who will put Ayanokoji in his place. However, I strongly disagree with that theory. We barely know anything about Koenji, and it's not like we know the limit of Ayanokoji ability. That's why it's just too early to make a prediction. Koenji also never cares about competition, so his battle with Ayanokoji is just a fanfiction inside the reader's mind with zero credibility. For almost 30 volumes, we were forced to wait for the slightest hint that their battle would finally happen, until volume 12.5 finally gave us what we deserved. The battle between Ayanokoji and Koenji will definitely become the most awaited moment in the third year arc. However, there are at least 3 reasons why I believe Koenji will never beat Ayanokoji. Let's check it one by one. By the end of volume 12.5 second year arc, Ayanokoji finally transferred to the former Sakayanagi class, while Koenji still became a student of Horikita class. With Ayanokoji class falling to class C and Horikita class finally making it to class A, the situation had shifted to Horikita class advantage with almost a 500 difference in class points. From the writing point of view, Horikita class already has the upper hand, so Koenji who could defeat Ayanokoji wouldn't make the story more interesting. To build the tension, a competition needs to be as close as possible. That's why making Koenji stronger than Ayanokoji is a bad writing choice. Not to mention that Koenji is currently protected by Horikita and the protection point, where Horikita also has the protection point. That means if Ayanokoji wants to expel Koenji, he will need to expel him 4 times, while Ayanokoji only has 1 life for himself. Ayanokoji being stronger than Koenji makes more sense to the story. However, for the entire 2 years of competition, Ayanokoji was always stronger than all of his enemies. What makes it different compared to the third year arc? That is true that Ayanokoji is always stronger than his enemy, and the story is not less entertaining. However, we need to remind ourselves that Ayanokoji spent the first year of his school life pretending to be a normal student. He needs to limit himself so the other students won't get suspicious of him. That's why the story could still be entertaining while Ayanokoji is clearly superior to all his enemies. The second year arc is the same. Ayanokoji was clearly superior to Yagami, but Yagami had a lot of advantages such as his hidden identity, or secret information that he got from Tsukishiro. Ayanokoji needs to fight with that disadvantage while keeping his true ability hidden, so the balance keeps the story entertaining. The balance was broken after Yagami got expelled, and Ayanokoji started to show his true ability. There's literally no one who could oppose him and keep him in check. That's why the story becomes less exciting because Ayanokoji could manipulate everyone to achieve his ideal result, which is the main problem behind Volume 12 criticism. In the third year arc, Ayanokoji will no longer be hiding his ability and will finally take the exam seriously, and this time the things that make it balance are the fact that his class is left behind. He's going to need to run as fast as possible to catch up before Horikita class reaches the finishing line, and Koenji's role will be to prevent Ayanokoji from catching up. That's why it's just ridiculous if Koenji is actually stronger than Ayanokoji. And let's not forget Horikita. Horikita is undoubtedly the main character that Ayanokoji chose to be his opponent in the third year arc. If Koenji could easily take down Ayanokoji, that would simply remove all chance for Horikita to shine. That will make her look like a clown, even though Ayanokoji already prepares everything for her in the entire second year arc. The existence of Koenji Rakasuka had been a mystery ever since his first introduction in the series. He is written as a very selfish person who never cares about what happens to the others. He is arrogant and cocky, but he has an incredible ability to support his behavior. Just a glimpse of his ability is enough to make the readers speculate that he has what it takes to defeat Ayanokoji. And then a question arises: how did Koenji manage to gain all that ability? There is a chance that he is simply very talented, but the most popular theory is Koenji came from Kijima's secret facility. The detail about the facility is unknown, but Koenji once gave a comment that said he wanted to return to China to continue his training. We didn't know what kind of circumstance he had, but he ended up enrolling at ANHS. Let's just say Koenji really came from the Kijima secret facility. That means Kijima knows full well about what Koenji could do. However, in Volume 12.5 when Atsuomi proposed the bet between him and President Koenji, Kijima didn't show any sign of worrying, even though there is a possibility Atsuomi could win over his greatest investor. It seems like he has a strong belief that Koenji will win no matter who his opponent will be. It could be a sign of pride in his greatest creation, but I refuse to believe that someone who manages to become a prime minister will risk everything just for something called pride. He must have a reason not to worry, and the reason is simple. He must have known about Ayanokoji capability. Kijima knows about the White Room, and he also knows Tsukishiro still maintains contact with Atsuomi. Knowing Tsukishiro nature as a double agent, maybe Kijima already obtained Ayanokoji information from Tsukishiro, especially after he saw Ayanokoji performance in the final special exam. If he saw Ayanokoji data and still believed Koenji would win against him, that would mean Koenji is a true monster that might be even better than Yagami. However, Kijima made one crucial mistake. The data that he got from Tsukishiro is actually a fake data. In order to make the other generation motivated, they were told about Ayanokoji and how great he is. However, Atsuomi believed that too much gap in their record will give the opposite effect. That is just how big the difference is between Ayanokoji and the rest of the White Room students. So, in order to make Yagami and the others feel they have a chance to beat Ayanokoji, they were only shown the modified data. Back in Volume 1 Second Year Arc, Tsukishiro compares Yagami file with Ayanokoji, and he believes Yagami should be able to expel Ayanokoji. Even in Volume 11.5, Tsukishiro told Ayanokoji that there are a few White Room students that are equal to Ayanokoji, and the reason his father was so obsessed with Ayanokoji is just because he is his son. Of course, it might be just a complete lie, but I think that it's safe to assume that even Tsukishiro didn't know everything, and he handed Kijima the modified data. That will explain why Kijima could become so calm, but that will be quite a shock for him when he realizes the truth. This might be just a comedic scene, but this is the first time Ayanokoji and Koenji ever had a competition. Back in Volume 8, the boys held a competition to decide who has the biggest weapon among them. After some serious competition, Ayanokoji and Koenji ended up as the winners because there was no difference in their T-Rex size. However, Koenji made a comment that he still won. Not because of the size, but because of the experience. He claims that his T-Rex already eats more than Ayanokoji T-Rex. However, if we calculate their current condition at that time, it's actually not a fair competition because Koenji already bathed in hot water for who knows how long, while Ayanokoji just entered the bathroom. We know that heat can cause the human body part to enlarge due to the dilation of blood vessels. That means Koenji T-Rex had been enlarged quite a bit before he competed against Ayanokoji, which means Ayanokoji T-Rex was actually bigger than Koenji. It might sound like a joke, but let's change the word T-Rex with ability. Ayanokoji ability is better than Koenji. However, if Koenji manages to warm up before the competition, he could stand on equal ground with him. With Koenji having a protect point, I believe he will taste defeat at the hands of Ayanokoji, but he will surely rise and learn to cooperate with Horikita and his classmates so they can fight together. Koenji reminds me of Horikita back in the first volume, where she thought she was the best and didn't need other people in her life. If Horikita manages to become stronger by accepting other people in her life, there is no reason why Koenji cannot do the same. After all, the condition that his father gave him is not to defeat Ayanokoji, but to graduate with his current class as Class A. Maybe his father wants Koenji to learn to cooperate, and that's why he was sent to ANHS. If Koenji could fully cooperate with his class, maybe they could actually defeat Ayanokoji, but just maybe.